what's interesting for me is that I feel as though I'm standing as a bridge between so many generations. I mean, we are in service to um, women in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, and even in their 70s and 80s. We are also in service to very young adults that are just stepping beyond 17, 18 into their early 20s, their early 30s, and their late 30s and the beginning of their 40s. And I'm standing there in either direction. And I'm seeing a massive disconnect between generations. And it's no one's fault, but I want to talk about it. The way our frenetic society has worked, the way that our American culture, which happens to affect everything around the world because it's an empirical culture, a dominating culture, the ethos is so individualistic that we forget how much we need each other, and not in a codependent way, in a sovereign, interdependent way. And in ancient times, it was like people that were in the second half of their life felt honored because they knew that they had achieved an extensive amount of pearls and learning experiences that they could pass on to the younger generations. It was just like everybody was hungry to learn from each other. And it's like the younger generations wanted to learn as much as they could from those that were older than them, including the elders. And the elders appreciated and respected and desired to download as much of their life experience into the younger generations. It was this really interesting balance and hunger to share and to grow and to continue growing together. And you see this in cultures around the world that are still that still have a family structure intact, that does have a deeper honoring of community. You know, it's interesting how these two polarities kind of balance each other out, because we can get too influenced by a tribal context where that heads into a codependency. And then we can also go into a place of isolation where we're not interdependent enough if we're overly individualistic. So it's really about finding that middle pathway where how we are engaging with one another is encouraging us to flourish in our individual and sovereign expression, while we're also really honoring the opportunity to learn and grow from one another's life experience. And I just feel as though I notice how lost a lot of people anywhere between their early 20s and their mid 40s feel. It's as though so many people feel as though they don't know who to reach out to for role models. They don't know who to trust. There was a time where we understood that there are many people that we can learn from that are older than us, and we take the pearls of what inspire us, and we do look for people that model, that it's good to look for people that model for you different aspects of success, peace, prosperity, stability. You know, I think the younger generations have been raised with so much instability, so many broken marriages, addictions. It's like, I feel as though there's so many generations of orphans in the spiritual community, and no one's wrong for that. It's devastating. I mean, hands up. I remember spending years wondering, like, how do I find people to look up to? You know, for those of us that are in your mid 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, it was just like, I really have a strong message to you from Mary Magdalene of like, the younger generations really need you, really, really need you more than ever. And what you think isn't really wisdom within you actually is wisdom. And so when we understand on a much deeper level that we are all here to guide and mentor each other, wherever you stand in this spectrum of development, we all need each other. And none of us are going to be perfect, but we all hold wisdom for each other. We all hold joy for each other.